let's go with entertainment.
Okay, let's go with entertainment. Entertain me.
I would have to stand up.
What, you gonna tap dance, are you?
No. There's a very specific dance.
You're strange. All right, let's get started because time's a wasting.
Yeah. Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello dear listener and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
Mostly video games, if I'm honest. Not a hugely productive week.
Well, shame on you.
Did go for a couple of walks. I seem to be ending up in Gilston Bay a lot
Yes.
recently.
Yes, I think I passed you once.
Mm.
Was that this week? Where we crossed paths?
Yes, that would have been within the last week.
Right.
That case, I wasn't actually going to Gilston Bay. I crossed the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, north side, and it was...
Oh,
it was
you don't,
windy.
Yeah, you don't do north side.
It was windy.
Yeah. Avoid north side like the plague.
I had my headphones on, so I probably didn't need to worry, but I was worried about my hat.
Yeah, and speaking of headphones, you really should avoid headphones as well, so that you can hear the bikes. Anyway.
Yes, and video game-wise, doing a little bit of, like, old stuff, going back to Burnout Paradise Remastered, which, you know, it's less old than Burnout Paradise, but it's still some years back now.
Uh-huh.
And sort of found myself looking for maps of things and only finding one old Flash application that you can only find on the Wayback Machine, and then you have to download it off the Wayback Machine because it doesn't work within the actual thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, can I modernise this? Is this modernisable? And so I've slowly been plugging away at that. The data in the back end of the Flash application is okay. Maybe slightly incomplete. Sort of slapdash in places.
Right. So you're essentially scraping the back-end data, are you?
So the producer of this Flash application did provide the source files and all of the XML files that are driving the map.
Okay.
But they're not perfect, and so a little tedious going through, which, you know, once I get started on a tedious task, I can finish it, but...
Yeah.
It's several tedious tasks wrapped up in
a tasty dose of tedium.
And so that has been distracting me from the writing, which also has not been going particularly well.
Dear.
So yeah, that's been my week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do need to apologise. It is blowing a gale outside, and of course it's blowing in the direction that blows right down the wood heater pipe, which is right behind us.
Yeah.
So you're probably hearing all sorts of blusterousness, and there's not a lot we could do about it other than turn the whole studio around. And I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that would go down well with anyone.
Yeah, look, I'll try to find the exact frequency that the wind sound is coming through and delete that frequency from the mix so that you could be sitting here thinking, I can't hear it at all. But that's because I've deleted that frequency.
I am hearing considerable variation in the frequency of the wind that is coming through. So I wish you good luck with that.
So it's a frequently adjustable frequency.
But
yes.
Setting that aside, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Yeah, it's been a bit quiet my end as well. A number of walks, but the last couple of days especially have had very average weather forecasts.
Yeah.
And so I haven't planned on going for particularly long walks. I mean, yesterday I donated plasma, and they do discourage you doing any strenuous exercise afterwards. But I did still basically catch the bus to Eastlands and then walked home from there. So I did get my steps in that I wanted to get, and did much the same today. But in fact, the forecast today was even more average and looking more threatening. So my steps were spread out between before my psychologist's appointment, and I got into town an hour before that, and so went up and down a couple of car park staircases just to get some steps in and keep me out of the weather. But when I got out of my appointment, it was sort of really hard to tell what the weather was going to do. So I'd actually notched up a fairly decent amount of steps before my appointment, so I just walked up to North Hobart and back, which gives a reasonable amount of options for protecting yourself against weather, except for big gaps where there aren't any awnings. But I figured that was going to be better than doing what I did the day before and going to Eastlands and walking over the hill, because I think time was fairly tight by that stage, and it bore out fairly well in that when I got back to the bus stop in town, I'd got my steps and got across the bridge on the bus, and there was water hitting the windscreen enough that he had to turn the wipers on. And look, I don't mind walking through showers. I certainly pack prepared to do that, but I'd got the minimum number that I wanted to get, and so just switch buses, which again I got some more steps in because it was that magic hour where the half-hourly bus doesn't come, so I had basically an hour to wait for a bus at Eastlands, and so I wandered out around Eastlands for an hour and grabbed some stuff and got more steps in, and so very dull. I mean, I did take some photos. I got some photos today that I'm fairly happy with. A bit strange. A spoiler for anyone who does manage to track down the places that I post my photos. There was a large construction going on near where my psychologist is, and they're using a lot of timber instead of concrete. And so that was pretty cool. And so they're having to crane all of that in, and just the reflection of the crane against some of the glass buildings were pretty cool. So I got some photos in, and then was watching and photographing the crane from the other side. And one of the people who was sort of guiding the crane said, "Oh, look out, we've got a crane spotter." And so this series of photos will be called Crane Spotter.
Right.
Yeah, I play on train spotters. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, things are pretty quiet. I did not go to the pictures this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of pictures, we do have a film to watch.
We do.
Yeah. And it's something you picked.
It is.
And you're going to be a bit confused here because we're going to be watching it on disc.
Yeah.
Because it's on the shelf and it doesn't seem to be streaming anywhere that we have ready access to. So we are going to have to watch it off the disc. And what problem do you immediately see in the disc case that you have in your hand right now?
I'm not... Oh. Hello.
Hello. Back to the bad old days.
Back to the bad old days.
Yes.
Now you do say that you've seen this
I
one
have
before,
indeed seen it before.
So it wouldn't have qualified for our previous podcast.
No,
anyway,
it wouldn't have. I must have seen it on television, I guess.
Right.
I'm guessing that's where I saw it. Because, dear listener, Thomas is going to have to unwrap the disc because the copy that I have is still under wraps.
And still has its $6.99 sticker on it.
It was a bargain.
Yeah.
But it does go to show that, yes, it has been quite some time since I've seen it, because I haven't seen this copy of it. Let's hope that when he unwraps it, that it is not suffering from disc rot. Not that I have come across any discs yet in the library that are suffering such a fate. So,
the film we're watching is called Frequency.
Mm.
And, well, that's a choice of font and colour of font.
It's black against black background.
No, it's grey on black.
Excellent. And really fine?
No, bold italics.
Oh, excellent.
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to bring up the My Movies database description
No.
for you instead?
No,
or you
I can read it.
All right then. Would you please read it to our dear listener so that they know what we're watching?
On October 11th, 1999, one day before the anniversary of his father's death, 36-year-old jaded cop John Sullivan comes across his father's old ham radio. It is a night of bizarre weather, with the aurora borealis dominating the night sky, and, as John plays around with the radio, he finds himself talking to a man who sounds strangely familiar. When he discovers the man is in fact his father talking to him on the same day but in 1969, John realises he has the power to save his father from dying and create the future that might have been. It is a chance no loving son could pass up, but one that ultimately plays with destiny, bringing with it another terror for John's family to endure, one that must be fought on both sides of the time barrier.
It's a bit spoilery, that description. I mean, it doesn't give entirely everything away, but that's what we're going to watch. Hopefully the frequency of the wind will settle so that we can very much hear the high-fidelity frequencies of the cellulose being removed from the cover. He's forgotten how to do it.
No, they're just all different, aren't they? They all have to be special in their own way. Okay. That should get us. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Tom's going to open the case, find that there is no disc in there.
No, there is a disc.
There is. Is it the right one?
It is.
Good.
Well, it purports to be.
He's going to take it out of its case. He's going to stick it into the DVD player. We're going to watch it in 1969. And then we're going to come back to 2025 and talk about it. So we shall catch you on the other side of the time barrier.
Turn to side A? Because we're
already over there, aren't we? Right.
Back in time.
Yeah.
So.
Will we make it back?
So I guess we're currently on side B?
I guess we are.
Yeah.
Just roll the disc, you mongrel. So, what did you think?
It was alright. Maybe a little long.
Hmm.
So it's sort of a film of two halves, and that's the problem. The first half is getting his father out of the fire.
Hmm.
And then the second half is the solving of the serial killer case.
Yep.
And I feel like the first half could possibly be a little shorter.
Yep. So you weren't quite as enthusiastic about it as Daniel was?
No.
He really liked that.
He did, yeah.
And I think I've more side in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good story.
Yep.
I found it fairly pedestrian as far as filmmaking was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
It felt very much like a telemovie, maybe a Twilight Zone telemovie, with that kind of budget, but with some reasonably big actors or actor in it. That
apparently it bounced all over the place and sort of difficult to get made in the first place, so...
Yep. The acting's fine. The story, yes, is too long, and you're right. It is that first half that could have been quite a bit tighter.
It's like I'm looking down at the DVD player as that half is finishing. It's like, oh, okay, almost an hour has passed.
Yeah, it could have been tighter, but it wasn't anything special. But it was a good story and well told. So is that a contradiction? I don't, as far as cinematics are concerned, I don't know what the budget was for it. Do you know?
About 30 million.
Right, and a lot of that would have gone into the fire scene, I reckon. And it's somewhat special effects there. The Aurora was, that's special. And the radio repairing itself, that was special. I think that got groans all round as far as caught in that awkward era of, we can do that, and we can do it this way, and maybe we shouldn't have.
Throw some morphs at it.
Yeah. It's a good film. It sort of falls into the good category rather than the average category for me, but only just. And it really could do with a rewrite or maybe even turning into a TV series. I don't know.
It got one season on the CW.
I can't imagine how they did that.
And then they did manage to squeeze out of the CW an epilogue after they were cancelled.
Yeah, okay. As far as notes concerned, I really didn't make a lot of notes, other than the fact that Dennis Quaid, who played the dad, was left-handed. Jim Caviezel, who I did not recognise initially, and Daniel did from Person of Interest, he is left-handed, and yet the young John Sullivan, who he was playing the old John Sullivan, wasn't left-handed. And just to add to the left-handed mix, because I see these things being left-handed myself, old Gordy was left-handed also, but I don't know whether young Gordy was. Or Gordo.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
Gordo, whose son was Gordy Jr.
Yes. So those are my exciting notes. It's funny how those things jump out at you as that actually looks normal, the way that person's writing, or the way that person is throwing a ball. Anyway, so maybe he learnt to be left-handed after he.
And I sort of realised after the fact that this is 2 weeks in a row that we have watched films led by terrible people, because Caviezel is not a good person.
Isn't he?
No.
Right.
No.
Okay. I don't know his history. I've certainly noticed that he has certainly dropped off the radar.
Yeah. Sort of fell into QAnon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. That's bizarre. Considering, Person of Interest, you would think that he'd be pretty clued up as to that type of...
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I was going to go somewhere before you threw that little can of worms into the mix. As far as that film is concerned, do you have anything else that you wish to say about it?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember what it was.
Yeah.
Actually, going back to the left-handed and baseball. Okay, I am left-handed, and certainly there are degrees of left-handedness and right-handedness. Lawn hockey can only be played right-handed. You can't have a left-handed lawn hockey stick.
Right.
And so I had to play right-handed. And also, as far as cricket was concerned, I learnt to play cricket right-handed. So when I go up to bat, I'm a right-handed cricketer. However, as far as baseball was concerned, I was never very good at it, and I certainly threw left-handed very poorly, so could never understand why they would put me right out in the far outfield, because I couldn't throw anywhere near far enough. Okay, I do know, because usually at that age, people weren't hitting them out that far either. So I wasn't a terribly good batsman, but I did have this trick that I would occasionally pull. I wasn't a terribly good right-handed baseball batsman, but I was probably about as good a left-handed baseball batsman. And so I would freak out the pitcher by switching.
Yeah.
And there were probably rules against it, but hey, this is Australia and we didn't know. So, yeah. It would freak them out and confuse them, but it still wasn't terribly effective because I couldn't hit terribly well either way. Anyway, that's all that was. So if you've got nothing else to say about the film...
Switch hitters are, not uncommon.
Right.
In professional baseball. They usually go for the opposite-handedness to the pitcher.
Right.
Because of curveballs.
Yes. Yeah, I instantly understood why that would be the case. Yeah. All right, then. Well, we shall move on then.
The following segment has no title. Thank you.
And we will start over on Discord with E of Pi.
Hi, E of Pi.
Who, in response to my advertising post, which read, "This week on Cellulose Free, Thomas demonstrates to Colin the virtue of only having one key on a keyring."
It took me a while to process what that was all about, and then I remembered the whole getting to the door before, yes.
E of Pi says, "But is it a major key or a minor key?" Which is a reference to Blueprints.
Blueprints.
The video game Blueprints. That's CE.
Prints. Right.
In which you can come across minor or major keys.
Oh, so it wasn't just a musical reference. See, I got a chuckle out of it as far as musical references are concerned.
In context, it's also a musical pun. But
right.
Yes, you can have minor keys, which are just regular keys that you find about the place and that open locks if you come upon locks, or major keys, which might do something a little more special if you use them to open a lock.
Uh-huh.
And with a comment on YouTube from Dunkel...
Hi, Dunkel!
That will take us up to the guess.
The one and only guess from Dunkel.
And only guess from Dunkel.
And it was a bit of a tricky one.
Yeah.
As is this one, actually. But
yeah.
Let's see how Dunkel went.
Dunkel has gone with Underseig. That's UNDRSEIG. Which I will note... Yes. Has all the right letters, but not in the right order.
Yes, unfortunately not.
And not in an order that one could derive from the title, for that matter. Unfortunate. The correct answer was Underseig, UNDRSIGE.
Go figure. No rhyme or reason. Yeah. But thank you, Dunkel, for having a go. And hopefully you have a go at this week's, which faces the same problem of which letter do you drop? Or
that's the one I would have figured.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see.
We shall.
If you have any file name guesses or film suggestions or any other comments on the comments that we've made, do let us know.
Yeah.
In the comments, wherever you're consuming this, or on Facebook or Twitter, or I guess dig up your Blue Sky.
Yeah, I am on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, where I haven't started posting about it, because I'm sort of feeling out what I want to do on Blue Sky, and it's...
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. I am certainly not missing Twitter. I'm really not. And it's been many, many, many months. It's probably been a year at least that I've made any type of post on Twitter.
Unfortunately, despite its blatant and obvious terribleness, I am still finding things on Twitter that I want to find that I can't find elsewhere.
Yeah.
So...
Yep. And I guess didn't have a large presence or following or followed many people on Twitter, and those who I was really attached to have gone on as well to other platforms. So that's good. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Please have guesses, film recommendations, or comments about Frequency and what you thought of it.
Yep.
All right. We shall move on then.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
It is your turn.
It is my turn. However,
Yeah.
I had been thinking, because I mentioned maybe last week, and we did mention this week, asking for movie suggestions, and we have used some of those, but it has been a while. So this afternoon I thought, right, I'm going to have a look at the suggestions, and I went through the list, and I thought, all right, good old N2 Osferatu.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we heard from N2 Osferatu, but it doesn't matter. We've got a good suggestion here, and I picked one from N2 Osferatu. Thought, right, let's watch that. And then there was an extra surprise after I looked it up and thought, yeah, we definitely need to watch that. And then I thought, uh-oh, no. And that uh-oh, no occurred when you said, and the star of the film we just watched went off the rails. And I thought, oh no, what did Dennis Quaid do?
No.
But it wasn't Dennis Quaid. So the movie that we were watching was suggested by N2 Osferatu. It does star Dennis Quaid, and it also stars Sean Connery.
Right.
Yeah. Although we don't see him.
Right.
We hear him, but we don't see him.
Huh.
You got nothing?
No.
Okay. I'm going to read a plot synopsis then.
Okay.
And then you should probably very quickly jump into it. Okay. Long ago, when majestic fire breathers soared through the skies, there lived a knight who would come face to face. Yes?
Dragonheart?
It is Dragonheart.
Okay.
I can't remember whether you've seen Dragonheart.
I can't remember if I've seen it either.
Right. Okay. So there lived a knight who would come face to face and heart to heart with the most remarkable creature that ever existed. Sorry, that was really bad. Dennis Quaid stars with the voice of Academy Award winner Sean Connery in director Rob Cohen's heroic adventure that blazes with fantasy, humour, and the most amazing special effect. I think that's meant to be special effects since Jurassic Park.
No, there's only one, and it was really good.
It was very, very special. The most amazing, very, very special effect since Jurassic Park. Next week, we are watching Dragonheart. We hope that you can join us, but until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
It's a wrap.
No, that's an R8.
Oh, so I can't put lettuce and tomato and
I wouldn't.
sour cream and...
If you want wraps, we've got them in the cupboard.
Huh.
But otherwise, no, I wouldn't put toppings on the discontinued piece of equipment.
What about the chicken? Can I put chicken on it?
No.
Okay, I won't put chicken on it. I am going to hit the stop button on my discontinued Zoom R8 though.